Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, again, they don't run the committee, but they have access to documents that come in. And apparently lawyers for some of Jeffrey Epstein victims who had gotten some material in discovery in court cases in the past provided the Oversight Committee with documents, including the birthday book that Jeffrey Epstein got on his 50th birthday. Presumably, I don't know, Ghislaine Maxwell may have solicited from all his buddies funny cards.
Yeah. This is the letter that the Trump administration and Trump himself is saying he never wrote and doesn't exist.
In fact, if I remember correctly, J.D. Vance says, do you know anything about Donald Trump? This is absolutely a total fabrication. If they had the letter, they would publicize it. Well, apparently it was given to the House Oversight Committee, and it was released in a Google Drive. That basically everybody has access to. Here is the card. It is, as you can see, in the shape of a
woman,
naked
sort of. I mean, remember the renderings after, people were describing it, or the Wall Street Journal described it before publishing it, and so people were kind of imagining what it would look like. Better art than this. This is maybe why Trump stuck to just drawing buildings, because this woman's form is not very well drawn.
I like my women without arms.
Or also I guess it makes a little bit more sense because those breasts are pretty tiny if this is about little girls. Not to make it too dark, but that's what we're discussing here.
Voiceover. Unclear why it's a voiceover, but maybe it's
so dramatic
fake ad. It's some type of script. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. And then Donald says, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, what is it? Enigmas never age.
That's the great line. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?
Jeffrey says, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday.
And may every day be another wonderful secret.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Also, apparently Enigma is an anagram for gamines, which is little girls. And I'm not trying, but Matt, they're all talking in weird code here. I'm not.
I know, but I think the Enigma thing is more likely him as an informant.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I agree with that.
But there was this, just really quickly, this tweet from the guy for Jewish Currents, Jesse Brenneman, who said, QAnon follower, see here, see what Pelosi did? See how she blinked twice and turned left? That's a code among pedophiles alluded to in the latest Q drop. Now, if we examine this napkin and then Trump, you could say Jeffrey Epstein and I had the sexual secret, one that never ages, wink, which is kind of how this is playing out.
So this drops yesterday. Trump continues to deny. And
Trump's son said he never draws, which is just obvious lie.
Obvious lie. Also, why would he have to have necessarily drawn it himself? I mean, he signed the card. It's the idea that
they're saying that's not his signature.
He says, right, of course. It's somebody who has, for whatever, forged a signature to Jeffrey Epstein on his birthday 20 years ago.
In Sharpie, which Trump always uses.
Didn't out it in 2016.
Exactly. It is this is the long con. But the idea that he didn't draw it, okay. Draw me a woman with breasts, and then I'll sign it right in the vagina. That's what that takes. That's what that is.
You didn't realize that?
That's the whole joke there.
It's pubic hair.
And now I have to say, on my 50th birthday, I didn't get anything like this. Even junior high stuff, honestly, it's literally junior high stuff. Nevertheless, here is Representative David Min. He is on the Oversight Committee, a Democrat on that committee. Again, in about a month, the Democrats plus 4 Republicans are going to have the votes to force a discharge petition and essentially get legislation on the floor that would force all of the Epstein files to be released. The Democrats are still waiting for 2 Democrats to replace members who have passed away, including Connolly, who was the former most senior member of the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. And, many people are suggesting that we wouldn't even have this information if Connolly was still alive.
Yeah, I mean, he was, rest in peace, but he was on death's door and he won that position over AOC.
Well, he was very peppy.
It was his turn.
Guy. He was a peppy guy.
And he was battle hardened.
Yes. But here's Dave Min on with John Berman on CNN. John Berman on CNN, I guess maybe they don't want to have to pay any type of fees. Let's put it this way. They're treading lightly, although, one of the ways that you can tread lightly and also report on the news is to have somebody else on delivering the message.
Again, I do want to say we have no reason to think that he was in any way involved with that check itself. Also, no reason to think he's detected any wrongdoing involving Jeffrey Epstein. You noted you're a prosecutor. You're a lawyer
now,
here.
okay, CNN says they have no reason, and Dave Min will answer this, but I just want to be clear what Berman's saying. We have no reason to believe that Donald Trump was involved in any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein. There's no definitive proof, and there's no and nothing explicit that would suggest. But I think Dave Min is about to explain why we might have some reasons to think something's up. Because remember, the White House, virulently lobbied against the release of these files and the signing of this discharge petition. This could all go away tomorrow if the White House wanted it to. But for some reason, either they want to keep it in play, which is absurd.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Or they really don't want something to come out. But here's David.
Again, I do want to say we have no reason to think that he was in any way involved with that check itself. Also, no reason to think he's detected any wrongdoing involving Jeffrey Epstein. You noted you're a prosecutor, you're a lawyer here. There's this defamation.
I would say we have lots of reasons to think he was involved in wrongdoing. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of smoke. There may be some fire, but I would just push back and say I think there's a lot of reason to think Donald Trump was involved.
Involved with what? I'm sorry, what exactly, what proof do you have that he was involved with wrongdoing in regards to Jeffrey Epstein? And if that's the case, why have there been no prosecutions over 20 years here? Because there haven't really been any allegations that he was involved with wrongdoing.
There are a lot of connections where Donald Trump was named, right? We had a 14-year-old claiming that she was raped by him, then withdrew that claim after she was apparently threatened. His name appears a lot. And again, we at this point, our job is to find justice for these survivors, and that means that we need to continue.
All right, pause it for 1 second. Let's just remind people about that allegation, because this was coming up in 2016, and then it went away. Mm-hmm. And then it came back up again in 2019 as Ronan Farrow's book, Catch and Release, what was it? Catch and Kill.
Yeah.
Came out, and he related this story. Farrow in the book claims that AMI CEO David Pecker was the one from the National Enquirer who also was implicated in the whole Stormy Daniels thing, where he was going to go out and, Cohen, Trump's lawyer, was going to pay to essentially gave money to Pecker to give money. And the idea being like, we go and we pay someone who's accusing Trump for an exclusive rights to the story. We buy the exclusive rights to the story, and then we just don't publish it as a favor for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. Catch and kill.
Farrow in the book claims that Pecker was in close contact with Trump when the rape allegations were made public in a 2016 lawsuit.
And this is a rape of a teenager, an alleged rape of a teenager in 1994. Now, Trump met Epstein in the late 80s and early 90s. So we don't know if this rape allegation is connected to Epstein, but it would very much fit the timeline of their friendship and relationship.
The lawsuit filed against Trump in the lead up to 2016 claimed that Trump raped a woman when she was 13 in 1994. Trump's lawyer said that was categorically untrue. The anonymous plaintiff, identified as Katie Johnson in an initial legal filing that was dismissed in California, and Jane Doe in 2 subsequent legal filings in New York, said that she was raped by Trump during a party hosted by the now deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein at his New York City apartment. In the third and final lawsuit, Doe alleged she had numerous sexual encounters with Trump and Epstein at the latter's parties and said she was also raped by Epstein, as BuzzFeed News reported at the time. Trump and Epstein knew that I was 13 years old, Jane Doe wrote in an affidavit. Now, Farrow alleges that after the suit was filed in 2016, Inquirer editor Howard and Trump lawyer Cohen were in contact frequently, and apparently this plaintiff, the accuser, there was like a break-in at the lawyer's house, and then they basically just went away at one point. Howard, now chief content officer at AMI, tried to use his influence to convince Lisa Bloom, a power attorney who agreed to represent Jane Doe, to drop her client. This is all based on Farrow's reporting. Farrow's reporting historically has been very solid.
Yeah.
And
Harvey Weinstein.
There's somebody
case.
in jail on
Yes.
multiple counts because of it. In November of 2016, just days before the presidential election, Bloom suddenly announced that a press conference with Jane Doe had been canceled, saying Doe had become frightened after receiving death threats. 2 days later, Doe's lead attorney, Thomas Meagher, filed to dismiss the case. Jane Doe has not been heard from since. Bloom added, after we received numerous death threats and my law firm's website and emails were hacked, she did not want to go forward. Bloom said she did not enter any agreements with AMA on Doe's behalf. I represented Ms. Doe for free, and there was never any discussion of money or settlement, as I strongly believed her allegations should be made public, given that Trump was running for president at the time. So that's what David Min is talking about. Again, that's all, it's just an accusation. It's all circumstantial.
Just like that photo of them together, just like that letter.
You don't look good.
Well, that's it. The photo is explicit. The letter is explicit. I mean, there's obviously a relationship there. It's quite possible that a woman who is by 2016, she would have been 33 or 34, had decided to just, for whatever reason, interject herself into this situation with Donald Trump. It's quite possible that Bloom, who was representing her for free, was just doing it on a lark and has no ability to assess the validity of her client. It's also possible that she just randomly decided not to pursue this, just had a complete change of heart based upon nothing, and that she didn't receive death threats. But that's a lot of stuff that had to have happened in that year that, running up to Donald Trump being president. I mean, it's sort of strange.
Well, that was when he was deep undercover as an informant. So he had to do the rape.
I bet those threats were coming from both sides during that election, too.
Oh, you mean in terms of
the threats towards her? Because if you look into that, you look into Epstein, you look into Bill.
It was mutual disarmament.
It's possible. It's possible. It's not like there wasn't Epstein stuff floating around, though. And they're not mutually, they're not, I should say, necessarily tied in with each other. But here's, let's let David Min continue.
Was named, right? We had a 14-year-old claiming that she was raped by him, then withdrew that claim after she was apparently threatened. His name appears a lot. And again, we at this point, our job is to find justice for these survivors, and that means that we need to continue digging, knowing that there is a cover-up taking place right now. And I didn't say that we have proof. At this point, we have a lot of smoke. But Donald Trump's name is clearly mentioned multiple times. We've seen him lie over and over about things that we now know to be true. So again, I think that we, as the Oversight Committee, we owe an obligation to the girls, the American people out there, to keep digging and find out the truth, whoever's involved.
Again, Donald Trump has not been named in any connection or charged with any wrongdoing there. Ghislaine Maxwell, take this for what it is.
Pause it for a second.
But Ghislaine.
We just heard reports that he had been accused of rape. Now, he hasn't been named because we don't know that because we can't see the documents because Donald Trump won't release the documents. So you can't say that he's been named and you can't say that he hasn't been named. And you could argue like, well, you can't prove a negative, but there is somebody who could prove the negative, and his name is Donald Trump.
Yep.
And he's refusing to release the information that would prove that he's not in there. Now, you could say, well, we don't know that Sam Cedars' name isn't in there, but I don't have control over keeping that document being released. I'm in favor. Release it.
But
you don't know that anybody's name is in there, but there is literally one person.
Yeah.
Who is preventing these documents from being released, and his name is Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, there could be other reasons too. I mean, there could be other like infrastructure, I would say, behind the scenes that doesn't want it released because it has like sensitive classified information in it too. That's another speculation, but we don't know. It's just like the over the top Berman going back and back to this. It's one thing to say he's not been formally charged with wrongdoing. It's another thing to say that, like, he's basically not been implicated in any way and make that assertion after Min lays that out. It's ridiculous. And it's indicative of how Donald Trump is bullying the media and using the government to try to extract all of this money from these media companies. Like, he should look at what just happened with the release of that letter. Trump sued the Wall Street Journal. What was down in Florida? Was he filed that lawsuit for $10 million claiming that they were making up that letter? And now that letter is public. And we know, of course, he wasn't making it up. Shouldn't the other media organizations say, like, hey, there's nothing here at this point. They have emptied the clip on all of the lying. This is going to catch up at some point. But no, we have to do this dance again? It's absurd.
So you're saying you don't trust Ghislaine Maxwell?
I don't trust Ghislaine Maxwell, who has been found guilty, I believe, of lying under oath. But I want to hear the rest.
Has not been named in any connection or charged with any wrongdoing there. Ghislaine Maxwell, take this for what it is. But Ghislaine Maxwell said, she never saw Donald Trump or anyone, for that matter, engaged in any wrongdoing connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Dave, Congressman
I will
from
just
California.
point out that Ghislaine Maxwell was indicted for perjury after she made that statement that you mentioned, transferred to minimum security prison in Texas. So, again.
Look, Speaker Johnson sat right here and told me he doesn't really believe anything Ghislaine Maxwell says. I was merely stating what was in that transcript, but there are plenty of people on both sides of the aisle who don't put much weight in it. Congressman Damon.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good that you brought that up after you had said, that seems like a pretty important qualifier.
A notorious liar trying to get something from Trump said something favorable to Trump. Okay, thanks, John.
But if it wasn't, Min did a good job on this, not letting him get away with this. Also, worth reminding people that the DOJ official who went to interview Ghislaine Maxwell when she said these things 11 months ago was Donald Trump's defense attorney.
Yep.
That's quite a coincidence.
Wasn't he involved in the shakedown of Eric Adams, too? Like, not
that was, I think, Bovee. But although he could have been in the room. But nevertheless, it seems like that's also something that anytime you ever cover this on cable news should be mentioned. Ghislaine Maxwell told Donald Trump's former defense attorney, now DOJ representative, that Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong. Okay.
You can,
Excuse me. Convicted liar Ghislaine Maxwell told Donald Trump's defense attorney, now DOJ representative, that Donald Trump didn't do anything.
And it's not even the biggest part of that is that she has an incentive to do that because she wants a pardon. Like, how do you not say that about what Ghislaine Maxwell said as a journalist and make the obvious claim that she's, one, been shown to be a liar in court, and two, that she has an incentive to suck up to the president because she wants out of prison? And they've already rewarded her for her, complicity in this cover up. They sent her to a nicer facility.
Against the prison, Bureau of Prison regulation.
And I'm not somebody that thinks like, oh, a prison should be as horrible. I think all these prisons should be like places of rehabilitation, regardless of the crimes that have been committed. But it shows that there has been an exchange made. And if you're a journalist on television talking about this case, the idea that you're acting basically as a lawyer for CNN functionally and their parent company on television instead of doing real journalism is one of the more darkly depressing elements of like the state of our industry at this moment.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy.
Trump was found liable of sexual abuse in court. That's also some circumstantial evidence about this rape allegation.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.